Hi there and welcome back to History of Fleetwood Mac. I'm Anita, and today we're going to start with 1998's Practical Magic into Stevie Nicks' Enchanted box set in my CD collection. If you'd seen my last video, there was quite a few CDs and CD singles for the dance. Not so much a smaller pile, but still a little bit more stuff to talk about today. So we will jump right into it. The first thing we have in 1998 is the Practical Magic soundtrack, starring Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman, as we all know. Great movie. Really, really a great, wonderful surprise for Stevie fans that we got a redo of the song Crystal and Stevie's version of If You Ever Did Believe, which we know had been recorded by Louise Goffin, I believe is how you say her name, in 1981, 82, somewhere in there, and quite frankly, not my favorite. About the most I love of that version is there's certain times where you can really hear Sharon Celani's background vocals, but Louise's voice, I'm really not a big fan of. She's pretty cool, but I just really didn't like that. So finally having Stevie Nicks sing it was just really a big deal. And then of course it's part used in the movie. Just it's a win-win situation. So again, we have just a regular soundtrack. This is just a US release. I don't believe there's any photos of Stevie in here, which is unfortunate. And boy, what a perfect kind of movie to have Stevie's music to. Purportedly a second Practical Magic is coming out, and a lot of Stevie fans have speculated or wondered if Nicole, because I think it was both Nicole and Sandra who really wanted the inclusion of Stevie Nicks on the soundtrack, both as fans and just, Stevie's witchy persona. But we're really hoping that maybe they'll go back and work together and ask Stevie to contribute something else, or just add a Stevie song possibly already recorded. So that was pretty cool. Again, just a regular US release for Practical Magic. This, however, did have, as I had shown you in 45s, this had two promo singles. One is a regular one that came from a studio, complete with these highlights already. And this was If You Ever Did Believe, the edit version at 3 minutes and 38 seconds, and the album version at 4 minutes and 11 seconds. And yeah, this movie came out October 9th, so right in time for spooky season. The film came out October 9th, 1998, and the album came out October 6th, so just 3 days before the film, 1998. And nice gold CD. Back insert, but no picture, but it does have the title, as I've shown you on both sides. So that was kind of cool to get something that looks like it definitely was sent to a, like Reprise or something like that, marking off certain important media information. Maybe they all are marked like this, but I feel fortunate to have one that is marked. It just kind of gives it some background. So there's that one. And then secondly, there was a promo CD, American. I need a new case, my apologies. Nothing on the inside, just a regular slip insert. And it was the CD. Again, it also is the edit and album version, just like this CD prior. So this might have been the blueprint for this one. Although I'm not sure why they needed two copies. Two different versions. It's kind of an orange, like candle fire orange color CD. And then the back insert is really nice. Again, no photo of Stevie. But there's a lot of really cool pieces when I go to my scrapbooks. There's I have a window cling that you would put in the window, and it's pretty much this, taller, like 8 by 10, and there's a large photo of Stevie. In fact, it's this one, which is really nice. A little piece from that. So yeah, this was really the videos for it, everything. It was just it was a great time, and this Stevie really ought to do this live. Her voice really stands out, and even though grief, can you believe this is coming up on 20 years old as well? Yeah, 20, almost 25. So 14 years old, something like that. That's crazy. That's crazy talk. Unbelievable. But I still think Stevie could pull this off, and I think it would sound great. So that's that for Practical Magic. So next we go into Enchanted box set, which I don't have the release date of that. I probably should have written that down. I do believe that this had come out, well, no, maybe not, because this is October. But irregardless, it was pretty amazing. I mean, we were just really on cloud nine when this came out, again, as a fan. You know, we had the 3D set, the booklet. It's funny story. I bought mine, went out with my girlfriend, and we bought our box sets together, I think, or maybe whatever. I bought mine and went over to her house so we could, like, you know, look at it, listen to it together, but like each look at our things. And I dropped mine, and I'm telling you what, this booklet just popped right out. I was devastated. Like, I broke my box set the day I purchased it. I have one sitting right down here below me that's just mangled. In fact, I think it's the original one because it does not have a booklet in it. The CDs have been played to death. This is my backup, and then I have one sealed, but I'm not sure where that one is. So yeah, it was just a really big deal. You know, we were getting all these photos. It was the first, you know, kind of before 24 karat gold, where Stevie was revisiting her entire catalog and all the stories, and it was a collection of hits and B-sides, and we just could not get enough of the photos inside and the information and just what we were being given. Who, you know, who knew about all these extra outtakes and stuff? So it was really pretty phenomenal. And again, I'm sure a lot of people who are watching this are familiar, but just in case, it was really about disc 3. I mean, disc 1 and 2, the whole thing. I mean, it's a complete package. I think it was missing, if I'm not mistaken, it is missing Inspiration as a B-side, because we really thought for a complete set. Inspiration had seen a B-side, as we know, on the, what was it, Blue Denim, or Maybe Love CD single. But with the box set, you know, and you know, being so inclusive of all her stuff, especially her B-sides, and I think it's missing, I want to say, Jane's Song, Inspiration, maybe that's it. Yeah, it was just kind of odd to me. It's not a big deal. Just, you know, fans were talking and stuff like that. And this would have just really been a perfect opportunity for Stevie to include all her B-sides, which she basically did. And, you know, I understand why. You know, they're not as much of a hit, or maybe she didn't like them as much. Who knows? And, you know, the studio just said, no, we have this amount of room and such, so we're going to, you know, keep this on there. But yeah, this is a whole package, was everything in 1998. So there's that. And then the first little promo from that was a great little 1 CD set with the selected works from Enchanted. What was also really nice on here was to get a Buckingham Nicks release, Long Distance Winner. My goodness, that was just really, that was a big moment. That was really just an acknowledgement, an ode, a remembrance of Buckingham Nicks, making it inclusive of your catalog, which, I mean, I don't know, that sounds kind of dumb. We all know that Stevie accepts it, Lindsay accepts it, nobody's upset about it, but the fact that it's not coming to a release on its own, that Stevie and Lindsay, or whoever the powers be at Polydor, whatever it needs to happen, has not happened. The stars have not aligned for Buckingham Nicks to see a CD release. So just even including one song on here was just really, I don't know, poignant. So again, this is just a beautiful little, this is the inside, little promo, USA promo, the CD. This doesn't gatefold or anything like that. It's just the one little page. And then the back, as I had shown you. So that was nice. Selections from Enchanted. And then we had one promo single CD, which is weird. I don't think there's really that much more. I really don't. I should probably look on Discogs and really kind of clear that up. But just in my searches and such, I've never seen much else from the Enchanted box set, like things like this. So this was another US release. And this was for Reconsider Me. Love this picture. I have a couple great outtakes from this that I can't wait to share when I eventually get into my scrapbooks. So front insert, same as the little promo you'd seen, the same picture on the back on the inside. CD is similar. And this is just the album version. Promo only, not for sale. So really nice item to have, the Reconsider Me single from the Enchanted box set as a promotional item. Next up we have a collection. This music obviously came out in 1997, but this was kind of a cool find. Nothing spectacular about it or anything like that. Just, you know, the Grammy nominees. As we know, it wasn't too much later than, or was it just before, where Fleetwood Mac had been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So it was really cool to get this, this 1998 Grammy nominees, of which I believe they won something, inclusive of Fleetwood Mac's, what is it, Silver Springs in here. So just a nice little collection. Not a promo, just a cool little CD that came out. I think it was not a CD you could, so a CD you could buy. It seems like it wasn't. Nope. I guess that would have made it a promotional then. So this was a CD you could buy. Anybody could buy this, but it's just a little collection of the songs that were going to be nominated. And a portion of the proceeds from the purchase of this album will be donated to the NARAS Foundation for music education initiatives. Well, that's pretty cool. So yeah, that was kind of cool. Just kind of goes with the whole, again, a lot of the stuff actually towards the end is kind of exterior. This one holds a real special place in my heart. Not a huge fan of the covers. Ironically enough, the Cranberries' Go Your Own Way, the video has been in circulation again, of the Cranberries covering this, and which is odd because we lost Dolores. Gosh, it's maybe even been already a year ago. I'm not really too sure. Dolores, I'm a big fan of Cranberries and Irish singers in general. Sinead O'Connor, I'm a huge fan. In fact, it goes Stevie Nicks, Susie Sue, and Sinead O'Connor, my top 3 favorite vocalists ever, and female vocalists. And I'm also a big fan of Dolores, but I think that she has such a powerful voice that when she goes to deliver it, it's just kind of a little bit piercing. Like, she's completely doing a perfect rendition of it, the harmony and the beat and the melody of it. So I think if she had changed it to accompany her voice a little bit more instead of saying it's so true to the song, would have just made that little tweak, would have made it vastly better. I like it okay. It's just not one of my favorites. But getting back to the album itself, this is a copy from Brazil, and my ex-husband, who is an amazing human being, I'm still very close to him, went to Brazil with some family members, And I'm the kind of person who's like, hey, so you're going somewhere. I don't care if it's out of state or out of the country. If you find a record store, because I've told you that about if I'm in another state, I'm sure other countries have record stores. So he was going to be in, gosh, I can't remember this city, but a big city in Brazil, a very big city. And so I imagine they probably have record stores. I don't know. And I just remember him bringing this home to me so proud. And it had just come out, too. And it's all he could find. And he was real apologetic. And I'm like, are you kidding me? No, that's amazing. It's something. You brought it directly back from Brazil. It's Fleetwood Mac related, goes in the collection. So that was really kind of cool. So this CD really is special to me. So the legacy of Fleetwood Mac tribute to Rumors. Again, besides the Cranberries, we also had the Corrs, Elton John. His version of Don't Stop was not too bad. Jewel, who was at the top of her game at the time with You Make Love Fun. It's okay. A band called Tallulah and another band called Sister Hazel. Tallulah doing Oh Daddy and the band called Sister Hazel doing Gold Dust Woman. Those are oddly unique. But again, they're making them their own. And it's funny because normally we would not like somebody making it their own. We want to hear the sound that we're all familiar with. But then somebody does make it the sound we're all familiar with. For example, me and the Cranberries, and I'm like, I don't like that. It's kind of, So, just goes every way for everybody. People are all different. But, yeah, overall, this is a pretty good tribute album. A lot of time and people's, big names were invested in it. So, I don't think there's pictures of anybody. There's just, the insert, and that's all there is. But with a nice little thank you from Mick Fleetwood at the end, who I think was involved in helping put this together. So, but yeah, so this copy from Brazil, like I said, brought directly back to me by my ex, was really, and you'll hear a lot about him when I talk about my scrapbook, because he went to Arizona. He went to Stevie Nicks' mom's store. I was never ever able to visit in person, but he went, and lots of stories there, so it's kind of cool. Next up for the 1998, we have the Stormy Weather Benefit. I was able to attend one of these, not this one. And when I talked earlier in my CD collection about some items getting damaged, this unfortunately was. The CD is fine, but as you can see, the edge got horrible water damage. So I'm going to need to replace this one. They're easy-ish to come by. Stevie does an amazing version of Etta James At Last. Here we go again with the covers, right? So, I'm picky about somebody doing covers of Fleetwood Mac, but then Stevie Nicks goes to do a cover of somebody else, like Etta James. Again, a vocalist, insane, amazing, phenomenal vocals. And I think it's great. Probably there are Etta James fans who are like, what is she doing? But real nice picture on the back. I went 2001, I want to say, to a different one. And actually, that was the first time I almost met her. But you'll see in photos and such. Where's she at in there? Oh, right there. So pretty. I'd like to see more photos from this one. So, and we're going to wrap this up. I guess I should have done the, at the end of Enchanted. But this was another situation. Again, if you just watch my video on the dance, because this should be the video out after that, where you got given a card from Best Buy that looked like this. There's something. Wait, sorry. Where's that card at? And you had to mail away for this. And if you heard that funny story about how, I sent away for 200 copies, I might have done the same with this one. But you're given a postcard and you had to send away for it. And this was for the Enchanted tour. And there's some neat information about Stevie. And this one had a small interview with Stevie, the song Enchanted and the song Garbo. Love that song. And then just like the Fleetwood Mac one, it had a second disc with a whole bunch of people. And ironically, the Cores covering Dreams is on here because this album and this had come out pretty much simultaneously. In fact, while he was away in Brazil, I want to say I was sending away for this. So, yeah. This one, however, was done out the gate the first time correctly. There was no getting the second disc. So when they published this one, a little bit more forethought went into it. And pretty CD though. And this in the back. So actually it unfolds like that, which is kind of nice. And then, as I said, this on the inside, and then that's pretty much it about her. But there's info about every other artist in here. And then the coupons, just like the Fleetwood Mac one. So, pretty cool to have gotten that. A couple copies of that. I have many, but I'm down to 2. So, and then I'll wrap this up. I'm so glad I made this short. I'm definitely trying to concentrate on making them shorter. But this little gem here is by an artist named Shivery. I believe is how you say her name. And this album's title, gotta love it, I Ought to Give You a Shot in the Head for Making Me Live in This Dump. Which is a really cute little, it's a funny title. The reason I have this one, and again, just a small relation, is that there's a song on here called Good Night Moon. It's a really catchy little tune, and Sharon has sung, Sharon Ceylani, Stevie's backup singer for so many years, sings very prominently on this album, and I guess has teamed up with Shivery before. And you'll see later, I'm not sure if I made it in the rest of the CD piles. I may not have. But she also sang with a band called, I think it's Fallout Boy, or something like that. But I was a little late in finding some work that Sharon had done in the 90s with bands. And this was an album I didn't find till like 2005 or 2006. But it's a really great album. This came out in 1999. And the whole CD is great. It's really a shame that we don't see more from this artist. But if you're interested or you appreciate Sharon, I adore her. I've been fortunate to have met her, and she means something to me, obviously, for being such a huge part of Stevie's life for so long. She sings like a dream, and her addition vocals on Shivery's album are perfect. And that little song is just so catchy. So if you haven't heard this one, go out and check it out. So that will do it for 1998. We're going to wrap up, I think I'm going to wrap up my CDs on the next video, and that is going to be The Dance. Although it seems that from 1998 to 2003, I don't know if I'm correct or not. It might just be what I have and I'm missing some. So I'll be sure and make sure that I'm filling in any holes. Because I know there's the very best of Fleetwood Mac, the white 2-disc album, and some other stuff, and we'll figure that out. So thank you again for joining me, and we will see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.